let's look at doing a mean and mean and standard deviation of a frequency distribution. So what I'd like everybody to do is write down, well, I'm not going to do that because you won't be able to, hold on, I'm bringing it up again. Write down these two formulas, or three, really there's just two. Write those down. The mean, the variance, and the standard deviation. Now you don't have to write the standard deviation, because what is the standard deviation compared to the variance? I'm sorry, what? Square root. So you really don't have to write the formula for the standard deviation. You just take square root of the variance. So it's really just two formulas. Now they look very intimidating, but they're not. So give everybody a minute to write them down. And I would suggest, let me move it over here. I would suggest that you put a bracket around this, because some people kind of mess it up, and that doesn't look good, so I will do that one. Some people actually think that n is multiplied by everything because it's outside, and it's not. Now, with these two formulas, and I don't know how much of you have had probability and statistics, but there's two types of data that you get in probability and statistics. One is data-driven, which means test scores. And the other is a frequency distribution. And a frequency distribution would be like ages in a classroom, from 19 to 24, from 26 to blah, 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 blah. And then you have a head count. That's a frequency distribution. I think I've got one somewhere up here. Let me see if I can find it. I think I rewrote it anyway in the Excel spreadsheet. All right, here's one. Just write down this right here. This is the class, so you really can't put it. This is your lower boundary. This is your upper boundary. This is your F, your frequency. Okay, so with each frequency distribution, you have a class which has a lower class boundary and upper class boundary, 20 to 25 years old, or 21 to 25 years old, 26 to 30 years old. Those are classes, and that's what they look like. And then you have your frequency, which is your head count. So write this down right here. And then we will go through and find the mean and the standard deviation. Is there any more biscuits left? Is there one or two left? No? Do you want a buttered or do you want a There's buttered and there's there's 2 buttered and 2 salted. And now there's 3. But you better get it while it's hot. Well, they're not hot anymore. They got some honey here. No, biscuit's not good enough.
I had Cheetos.
No, that's all right.
I bummed the knob
I understand.
off. I bummed the knob off the cream to get some Cheetos. If I'd known I forgot to freeze biscuit, I wouldn't done it.
Oh, well. Now, what is all of these things in this formula? Well, the biggest thing you need to know is what is X. X is your midpoint or your mid-range. So for the mid-range of these 2 guys, what do? Take the highest plus the lowest, and what do? Divide by 2. So do that for each one of these. And then I'll show you an easier way to do it. So take 25. The only reason I want you to go through and do it in your calculator is so you'll remember that the mid-range of each class is X. And that's what I got over here. Here's your answers right there. Check your answers with mine. I want you to physically go through and take 21 plus 25 and divide by 2. 26 plus 30 divided by 2. But you actually go through and do that. You make a column and call it X. Now, hopefully you got the same numbers I got. Another way you could have done it is get the first one, 23, and then what's the class width? What's 21 from 26? Or 36 from 31? Or 46 minus 41? What's the class width? 5. So add 5 to each one. You can do it that way too. So either way you do it, you get the same answer, but there's a long way to do it, and then there's a short way to do it. Now you've got X, and you've got what? F. So let's go back to our formula. Okay, X and F. We got X, we got F, we got F, we got F and X. We got all those. We got F right here. What's N? The total of what? F. So let's go back here and find N. And there's N. What is N? It's the summation of what? All your F's. In other words, if I go through the classroom and I say blondes, brunettes, redheads, 5 brunettes or 5 blondes, 10 brunettes, and 5 redheads. What's N? 20. In other words, you'd add the 5 brunettes, the 10 brunettes, 5 blondes, 5 redheads. You'd add them all up and you get N, just like you would with your test scores. N is how many test scores. How many heads have you counted? 20. How many test scores do you have? 5. You add them up. You add them up. So N, we've got N. There's N. So let's go back to our formula. And we have N. What else do we know? What else do we need? What's the only thing I haven't highlighted? Y'all supposed to say x squared when I circled it. Now y'all were inactive a while ago. I wasn't talking about math, but y'all were interactive. Now what happened?
You talking about
Oh, okay. So now y'all just clam up. Okay. So we need a column for x squared. So I got my n. Take my highlighter. I'm going to make this big. I have my n. Oh yeah, I need transparency now. Sorry, hold on. Transparency. There we go. Bring up the Excel spreadsheet. Go. And there's n. We have that. We have f. And we have x. So now all we have to do is do what the and we have n. So yeah, there we go. Do what the formula says. So let's go to the mean. What is the mean? Well, the mean is equal to what? The mean is equal to the summation of f. That's supposed to be a multiplicative sign right here. F times x over the summation of f. Well, what is another way of writing the summation of f? N. So you could write this summation of f times x over n, or you can write it summation of f times x over summation of f. I prefer n because this confuses people, so just put an n right there. So let's do that. So how do you take the summation of f times x? Well, first you have to multiply f times x. So we go back to our handy dandy transparency, and here's f of x. So what's 3 times 23? 69. 6 times 28? 168. 9 times 33? Blah, blah, blah. And then what do we do with those numbers? We add them up. And then we take 1139 and divide it by what? 33, and that gives us the mean. So you need to write this down, excuse me, as it is written, and follow, because in a minute we're going to do a couple of problems, and I'm just going to give you the first part, and you've got to actually go through and do it. And then Monday, we'll go through it with the calculator, and do one with the calculator, and then we'll also do z-scores and 5-number summaries, and then we'll be pretty much through with unit 1. So you're talking about the test maybe popping up, I don't know, Wednesday or Thursday of next week, which means that the homework for unit 1 will probably be due sometime next week. I will go over that with you Wednesday, or Wednesday. Capiche? Okay, you're not going to talk to me anymore. All right, now what do we need? We got mean, we need the standard deviation. Well, we need the variance. So now we're going to take f and multiply it by what? Let's go back and look at the formula. We need to take f and multiply it by what? X squared, and sum it up. Multiply that by n, and then we need to sum up f times x. We've already got that. We got that right here. But what do we do to it? Square it. All right? So we look over here, and here's f, and here's x squared. So do a column and square your x's. And that'll be a new column. And then multiply those together with your calculator. I'll get mad and walk out. And then you plug all that into the formula. Now, I've done steps right here to show you where everything goes. So I want you to take those numbers and I want you to plug them in to that formula. I'll show you the formula one more time. There's the formula right here. Let me blow it in, bring it in one more time. I done wrote all over that one. There you go. Plug it into this formula. Now, of course, some of y'all are going to go, well, I don't know where to plug it in. Well, that's why I go over this. And here it is, right here. 33, oops, that's not right. 33 is what? N times, what's this number? The summation of f times what? F times x squared. Minus the summation of f times x, but what am I going to do with the summation of f times x? I'm going to square it. And I put it all over n times what? N minus 1. Now 33 times 40, is that going to be bigger than this number right here? Yes or no? It's going to be bigger. Why? Because we can't take the square root of a what? A negative number. So this number has to be bigger than this number. So if you're working with these formulas and you get a number that's bigger here, then you know something's wrong. And then work out the math. And you get the standard deviation variance is equal to 42. Do we care about the variance? No. So we raise it to the 0.5 power, and we get 6.55. Yeah, just come on in whenever. That's fine. Beauty sleep is important. Give you a hard time. That means I don't like you. You know that, don't you?
Yes.
I pick on people I don't like. Yeah, there might be a biscuit behind you if you want one. You don't throw your drink all over the floor. Okay? So, what can you do with this variance and this standard deviation? Make a what? Bell curve, Hubert. That's right, class. So, equals the mean. Where's the mean? There it is. And then equals this plus this equals this plus this. I'm just going 2 standard deviations. Equals this minus this, and equals this minus this. So where does 95% of the population fall in this frequency distribution? Between 21 and what? 47. That's why you need the mean and standard deviation. You can't do statistics and probability without the mean and the standard deviation, which gives you the what? The middle of your data, along with the mean, median, and the mid-range. Okay? There. Thank you for the interaction.
Hey, can you scroll up real quick?
Oh gosh, you started a trend. That's all right. I'm happy. At least it's not. Well, wait a minute. If I could get the machine. I know, I suck. There. Where do you want to go up? Now, in just a second, I'm gonna get y'all to do the same thing. So, get ready with a clean sheet of paper and get your calculator out so you can do the math real quick. Well, West Side people don't learn anything anyway. I went to West Side. You don't learn anything.
I didn't choose to read those books. I told kids.
And I wonder why South Carolina's last and everything.
The process fast and started existing to what, like,
It didn't when I was when I graduated West Side. It was Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, and if you were a brainiac, you took pre-calc. And then they watered down. I'm sorry. And then they started making a high school education very easy, and they started implementing strategies for success, which is a 25-cent word for what your parents should be teaching you at freaking home.
it was called math back in my day, and this called and stats things to me.
The yellow, and this is no doubt, this has something to do, this is what you're talking about. I started teaching probability and statistics in 2003. And up until that point, I had never had a probability and statistics course, not even through college, because in college, it was for the psychology majors. You didn't even take probability and statistics classes for a math major because it wasn't considered a math. It's more of, it's by itself. It's kind of like accounting. Accounting is math, right?
Yeah.
But it's not considered math. Probability was that same type of genre. In other words, you kept it over here to the side, and it was for psychology majors. But then some person said, you know, if we put probability and statistics in high school, more people will pass it in algebra. You don't have to raise the bar so high. And that's what they did.
So how did you learn probability and statistics?
Teaching. I had to go through and teach it. That first semester, I had no idea what I was doing. Because now I understood the formulas because I was a math major, but I didn't understand what we were doing. I didn't understand. And finally, about the third semester, I started understanding what the course was trying to do. And it's trying to get you to understand the statistics behind taking a sample and predicting what the population will be using a sample. And it took me 3 semesters to figure that out. So anyway.
How long did it take you to figure out the calculator?
Huh?
How long did it take you to figure out the calculator?
Longer than 3 semesters.
Yeah. You need to take a full trip on how you use the calculator.
Thank you. That's a good idea. It's another
There you
refresher
go.
class.
That's your thing.
Yes. Thank
But
you.
when I went to the tutor lab, the guy in the lab forgot his son had to do that.
Somebody posted a picture on Facebook yesterday of a tutor asking, need help with calculator. If the tutor needs help with the calculator, then you're screwed. Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to take this guy right here and I'm going to change it. We're going to blow it up because I don't want you to cheat. So I'm going to blow it up. And this is your frequency distribution. Just bear with me. Okay, that's good. All right, and we're going to say this is, let's raise the bar a little bit and say this is 31 to 35. And then 36 to 40, and then 41 to 45, and then 46 to 50, and 51 to 55, and then 56 to 60. That's the average age of veterans that are coming in to this certain office. Make something up. And we're going to change this to 5. Leave that at 6. Take this up to 12. Take this up to 15. Take this down to 4. All right, now I want you to find the mean and the standard deviation of that frequency distribution. First of all, find what? The midpoint, x, yes. So start you a new column, go over to the side, over there where I got mine, and have 2 columns, x and f. Now, f, you just have to copy. X, you have to calculate. So go ahead and do that. Now, if you can't do that, then we know what that means. College student was so scared to tell parents he got an F that he faked his own kidnapping. That's pretty sad. That's one thing. I don't pressure my kids like that. I think it's more damaging than it is. I try to tell them that if they don't get good grades, they're going to live in a ditch. I tell them that. But I don't tell them that if they fail the class, they can't come home. I don't tell them that. I've got to. All right, I'm going to let y'all work on that for a minute, and then we'll see how bad you did. See if you're ready to quit. I'm going to write that down. Put that in my little sheet. Little sheet. I don't have a pen either. I just suck. Try to get on the good side.
Do you need a piece of paper to write on?
No, I got a receipt from Biscuits. I can write on it.
I see. I bet I'll get the business expense.
Yeah. I have got like 6 classes that I haven't even loaded onto YouTube. I'm just being, what do you call it, lazy. Yeah, that's it.
So you need one this morning?
Came for the 8 o'clock class. to see, because I knew 2 or 3 would show up in 8 o'clock class. Half the class showed up. I said, what part of my message did you not understand? Oh, we thought you were kidding. Well, some of you had to think.
Well, I ended up not coming, and fortunately, he did not, he did the game today, so.
Well, like I said, half the time they don't do what. Well, here's my philosophy. You know what my philosophy is? Why make the class come? Half the class won't come. So that means, what are you going to have to do the next time you meet?
Review.
You're going to have to review over what you. I'm not into busy work. I'm not into making more work for myself. Just because there's people that are stupid that do the calendar doesn't mean I have to be one of those stupid people. Here's your joint neighboring note. Group therapy Tuesday, 8 o'clock. You ever sing 28 Days?
Who's in it?
Oh, Sandra Bullock, of course.
Oh, Lord.
I've got all of Sandra Bullock's movies, or recorded. I don't have them like on the shelf or anything. Yeah. Weird. But anyway, it's a good movie. It's about her being an alcoholic.
Steve Buscemi's in it.
Huh?
Steve Buscemi, I think he's in it.
Oh yeah, the guy that plays on Con Air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love him. He's got some
He plays the
messed up teeth, but I love him as a actor. Define, let's see, what does he say?
Define irony.
Yeah.
It's people singing that on a plane.
People singing a band by a band that people on a plane singing a song by a band that got killed on a plane.
Yeah.
Please quit sneezing. Huh? Oh, Hillary has a coughing attack and she blames it on Trump. She's allergic to Trump. I think she's got problems. If she wouldn't lie so much, she probably wouldn't cough as much. If she just tell the truth, I think she'd be a whole lot better off. No, she'd be in jail. I'm sorry, bad humor.
Did you go see something to the town?
Every time he's come in this area, I have, and I've seen him in Charleston twice.
Me too. I didn't see him in Charleston.
Yeah, I went down to Charleston. That was just an excuse for me to go to Charleston.
So you saw him on the Yorktown. I would love to have done that one. But I don't know.
I have no idea, but it was yesterday's class. I think it's this one. Yeah. The true class is after mine. Sorry, I was trying to load one of these courses. All right, so we take our handy dandy Excel spreadsheet and now we bring it down to size and see what y'all got. So what'd you get for your mean? That, 48. No, I'm sorry. I was reading it. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you. Further embarrassing me, okay? Mean is 45.4 or 45.39 or 45.396, whatever the directions tell you to round to. And then the variance comes out to be, let's scroll down. What'd you get for the variance? 47.8 or 47.9, and the square root of 47.9 is 6.8. Okay, 6.9. So now your normal distribution, where does 95% of the population fall? Between 32 and 59. That's right, class. Yes. Okay. Now I'm curious because I asked my 120 classes too. Some of you have Math 120 before, but have you ever seen this before?
No.
Okay. Yes. Where did you take them for, or where did you take probability? Who'd you have? Yeah. She's pretty good. Yeah. How about you? I don't know who that is. Okay. How about you?
Everything we give them, not going, you can't use that back there on the screen.
So you didn't do it by hand.
We
How about
can
you?
even,
The first time you seen it? How about you? Okay, so you, how about you? First time? First time? Who'd you have? Gabadi. Yeah. How about you? First time? Okay, how about you? Did you say you saw it for the first time?
no, absolutely.
But did you see this?
Yeah.
Okay, the reason I'm asking is because I want to know, I want to judge if I should do another one, and we'll do another one just to make sure.
Yeah, because
Okay, do you have any questions right now? All right, ask. I'm offended. I'm offended. I want somebody to report him.
Okay, I'm not saying this.
I'll tell you if you're really stupid.
I'm a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, with the variance,
The variance on this one is,
I was just wondering if you could like maybe hand write it out to me.
well,
Like
there it is
the
right there.
formula.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because I see that, but I prefer to see it.
All right, you want me to handwrite it?
Disconnect with like how I see the formula and then how you do the answer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I just want me to work.
Oh.
So, the first one, the summation of f of x over the summation of f. And that is your mean. X bar is equal to that. When you see the summation, that means add them all up. So, that means add up all f times x's and put them all over all of f, which is also called what? N. Now that was pretty simple, and I understand it, but you understand that. The second one is the variance. Now I also tell people to put brackets around the first part of it, because if you don't, you're going to get confused. N times the summation of f times x squared. Let me put that in brackets too. Minus brackets. Make these parentheses. And I erase. Oh man, it works. Don't mess it up. Put these in parentheses. Okay. Minus the summation of f times x quantity growth. Now, are these two different? Yes. This is a cat, this is a tiger, this is a cat, this is a tiger. They all have four paws, they all have a tail, but they aren't the same thing. Alright? So I don't want you thinking but these two numbers are the same, they're not. All over n minus, n times n minus 1. And that's it.
So first thing, the F times X squared is
It's going to be a VA number. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying. There we go. So if you look, let me get my handy dandy cursor back where it was. All right, so there's that number right there, which is the summation of f times what? X squared. So you have to take f times x squared and multiply it, and once you get all those numbers, you add those numbers up. Now you could do them each individually and then put a plus and then add them all up. You could do that, but that's reinventing the what? Reinventing the what? What are you not supposed to reinvent? The wheel. Your parents did a good job. If you don't know what I'm talking about, your parents did not do a good job. Never reinvent the wheel. In other words, somebody's already reinvented it. Well, somebody's already invented it. You don't have to go back and make it more difficult. If it ain't broke,
Don't fix it.
your parents did good. All right? So, who's got another question? You had a question, I think you had a question. So, if you want to plug that in, I'm not going to rewrite this, okay? There's no reason for me to rewrite this. This is what? What is that? Yeah, that's the number. That's good interaction, but that's not what I'm
I
asking.
see why I'm so confused. I just realized it.
That's it.
I forgot to do
Good.
F times X.
Yeah, and let me tell you what the biggest problem with these are. The biggest problem is not that you don't understand it. The biggest problem is a careless mistake where you multiply by the wrong number. And I have done that in class. I have taken, especially this f times x squared right here, I make a column right here and I call it x squared, but I pull in what? I pull in x, and the students go, why are you pulling in x? It's supposed to be x squared. I picked the wrong column. That's why I do separate columns. See, here's my class, my frequency distribution. And then I do x and f right here. But then I'm skipped 2 columns, and then what I do over here? F times x squared. The original way to show you how to do this goes like this. I'll just take this down. I'm just going to show you. Control C. Here's what they tell you. If you're a teacher starting, this is how they tell you to do it. Here's your class, and then you're supposed to put X, or there's your F, and you're supposed to put X right here. So you take this, Control X, Control V, and then they say do F times X squared, Control X, Control V, and then start doing your well, you see the point. That's not supposed to be there. Anyway, they tell you to start doing your F times X and your. I do not do it this way because more than likely I will pick the wrong column. It happens. And just like you said, you forgot to do a certain part. Some people think that F times X quantity squared is the same as F times X squared, and it's not. So there's 2 or 3 things that students do in this, but it's not because they don't understand it. It's just careless what? Mistakes. So be careful, okay? Because I don't want you to live in a ditch all your life, okay? Y'all may think I do. All right, and then once you get the variance, I really don't care about the variance because I want you to what? Get the standard deviation. Raise it to the 1/2 power or take the square root of it, and there is your answer. And of course, you're not going to get the mean and the standard deviation unless you do what with it? Put it in the bell curve, and 95% falls between 32 and 59. Capiche?
Just the same value in the standard deviation.
The standard deviation, how to get it? You either take the square root of 47 with a calculator, or you raise it to the 1/2 power or the 0.5 power. So if you were doing it in a calculator,
It's just the square root of there. Okay.
yeah. And just so you know, you take 47.86, 47, sorry, same thing on. 40, dang it. Okay, I think it's time for me to quit. There. 47.86126. And then I'm going to raise that to the 0.5 power. I'm going to raise that to the parentheses 1/2 power. I'm just showing you the different ways that you can do it. And take the square root, second square root, second entry. Okay, I've erased it. Yeah, it turned it into the same thing. You get the same answer no matter what. So I really don't care about the variance. I really care about the standard deviation and the what? Mean. And that's true with your data-driven. You got data-driven, which is test scores, and then you got this, which is frequency distribution. Who's got another question? All right, let's drive it home by doing one more. And I'm just going to change this, and I'm not going to blow it up, but let's change it to 24, 25, 29, 30, 34, 35, no, 49, 39, thank you. 40, 44, and 50, 45, 49. That's 2, 3, 10, 11, 5, and 2. I'll blow that up for those that can't see very well. Okay. If you can do these 3 problems that we did today, then you should be okay for the test. If you can't, then you just need to quit. There'll be no shame. Nobody make fun of you. We'll only make fun of you after you leave.
Did you say everything without once?
No. That's the whole point. I mean, my goal is to get you in that ditch. Now, my goal is not to encourage, to help future minds learn. No, none of that. It's to see you drop and fail. That's it.
You should be stupid.
What did I do today?
So you always give us those first 3.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. This is one. Automatic. I also need to do the attendance for today and Wednesday or Monday since y'all all were here. Y'all were all here, right? Monday. Oh, y'all were here. Wednesday. Okay, Haddon's here. Harper, I don't see Miss Harper. Howell's here. Jennings, did you get your access code straightened out? Or oh man, I'm sorry. Howell, Jennings, you're here. Kaiser, where are you? Okay, I'm trying to learn your names. It's a small class. I'm not like staring at you or anything. Nagel. Oh, he's not here. Picard. Roberts. Where are you? Okay. Well, who was Picard? Oh, I'm sorry. I know your first name. Forget it. Sims. Okay. Strange. Where are you? Okay. Strange. Suber. Okay. Vaughn and Vaughn. Brother's not here. Is he just being lazy or what? You don't keep up with your brother? Family unit just breaks down every day.
That's true. I can't keep track of it.
It's all Bush's fault. Bush tried to have another hurricane hurt the United States. You know, he did that with Katrina. That's what Kanye West says. You ever seen Kanye West say that? He tried to kill all the black people in Louisiana. Have you seen him say that? Michael Myers, the guy that plays that movie that's not funny. Yeah, no, that and another movie where he acts like a British spy. Yeah. He's standing beside Kanye West when Kanye West said that, and the look on his face was like, I
Oh,
can't believe you just said that.
it was awful.
Like Bush went out, took the Navy, all the Navy ships, and they went in the Gulf, and they went around in a circle until they caused a hurricane. And then after they caused the hurricane, they pushed it into New Orleans. There are some people in Hollywood that I really think they live in a different world with unicorns and Candy Rock Mountains. He is. No wonder. And he lost how much? $60 million?
He's selling clothes for thousands of dollars. He's selling a t-shirt with holes in it for thousands of dollars. And he like, what is?
Well, I don't think he's doing it anymore because he went bankrupt.
I think the most easy part exactly. Buy your shirt for $6,000 if it's easy, and you can go and still buy your t-shirt.
And break and do it yourself.
And do it yourself. Yes.
Well, these are also people that think because they say, well, if y'all vote on this person, I'm leaving. I don't care whether you leave or not.
Yeah, there's the same person saying, yeah, if you vote against him, I'm moving to Alaska.
Yeah, go ahead and move to Alaska. Don't let don't let the door hit you on the way out. But they don't move. You know why?
Because Alaska's still the United States.
Well, no, that's not it. The reason they don't move is because they want to make that what? They want to make that money. All right, y'all done?
No.
Oh, hurry up.
You shut it.
I'm Hubert.
Just wait till Monday when you calculate it all, easy.
Be quiet. I'm not going to let y'all do it by the calculator now.
Right. Please. You'll understand it.
After you do 2 or 3 problems, you will. But what's your question? You said you were confused. I'll give you this. The mean is 35.
What?
You take the summation of f times x and put it over n. So 1156 over 33.
$11.56 over.
Yep. Try that and see if you get 35.
So you were wrong to do this.
That sounds like a song. See, nowadays, I'm a country music fan. I'm a fanatic, but real country music. But that sounds like one of those country songs that they make up today. Put 3 words together and just say it 5 times, and that's a country music song. Yes, sir.
After meeting,
Good.
after that, square, is it 4,692 minus 1156 squared? What's the
No, 33. You got to multiply 41,659 times what?
bottom?
N, and then you minus.
And that gives you that problem.
That gives you that 137,536
And then 32
times 33 gives you 1056.
Oh, that's
See, I
minus
need-
10 minus 1.
Yes.
Okay. And that's,
See, that's where I'm plugging it into the formula. I just don't. Let me put a line right here.
See, I know what's gonna like screw me up on this because I'm already looking at
Well, that sounds like that sounds like that. I can't help you there. I'm sorry. I can't help you to write down the right numbers.
Yes, you can.
Sounds like a sobriety problem.
so the bottom number is always going to be 1.
What are you talking about? Bottom number.
The denominator, if it's n minus 1, it's
Well, what's in?
33. It
So-
doesn't matter what it is if you're subtracting it from the same number minus 1, correct?
Well, that's 33 minus 1.
So 33 minus 1 is 32.
So it's 33 times 32.
A time.
Yeah.
You just ran the, Ada, doesn't matter.
For what?
The Ada.
Well, again, it should be 33, not a decimal.
I
don't know what you're doing some kind of different math. Must be called the card math. Yeah, it must be French. The card is French. It is. Is best, is that German?
I think so.
Okay, so you should be able to do that. That's 3 problems that we did. And I will assume that you will have questions on it next week, because anytime you do one. I don't think this book has a lot of homework problems like this, so I don't think they'll have to do it that much, because this book is, what is this book? Yeah, it's dummied down, so I doubt very seriously if this has any problems in the book like this. But I think it's important for you to know how to find the mean and standard deviation of a frequency distribution. So you might have one of these on the test, you might not, I don't know, but I'll probably it would be very similar to this one right here.
And who are we using the mean model?
Depends on what you go into. I mean, if you go into a field that gives a lot of reports, well, you're going into nursing, there's somebody on each floor that gives a report to the department head or to the division chair or whatever the case may be.
And I will call you onto this, and I need to help.
And that happens. I get phone calls every day. I got a phone call about my second semester here from the executive vice president, and she asked me, she said, I hate to ask you this, but I need to know, how do you find percent increase or decrease? New minus old over old? And she went, well, take your new number, subtract your old number, and divide it by the old number. And then multiply that by 100, and that's your percent. So what if it comes out negative? That means you had a decrease. What if it comes out positive? That means you had an increase. So don't feel bad. There's people that do call me and ask me that kind of stuff, because what are they putting together? A report to present. Now, for instance, you said you were going into nursing. Name another major that you're going into. Psychology? Oh my gosh, it's eat up with reports. If you're going to be a psychiatrist, yeah, you're going to have to do reports. Depends on if you work for yourself or if you work for a hospital. So, anytime you give a report, there's going to be this stuff in it. So you're not going to be able to run away from it. Unless you just, be an underwater firefighter the rest of your life.
Well, maybe they'll let you do.
Or underwater basket weaver. All right. What time's class over? 12:35? All right. This is a good point to stop. I've done taking the roll. Let me hit the... but I do want to tell you one thing before you leave. Let me hit the do-jigger. Where's the do-jigger? That's not the do-jigger. That's the do-jigger.